Syrian asylum seeker has confessed to setting fire to a refugee centre in Western Germany and also to painting swastikas on its walls. 6 people suffered from smoke inhalation in the incident. Here's how local police explain this apparent attempt to frame far-right groups.
The 26-year-old claimed he was dissatisfied with the cramped conditions and the lack of hope for the future. He wanted to draw attention to the situation but had underestimated the possible damage of the fire.
So far this year, there's been over 200 attacks on German refugee centres, and in 2015, refugee accommodation in the country was targeted more than 1,000 times. That's a 5-fold increase on the year before. The majority of those assaults were linked to anti-refugee far-right groups. However, Petra Bystrom from the right-wing Alternative for Germany party warns against jumping to conclusions.
When some migrant camps is burning, the media immediately are speculating about a right-wing attack, so that the public opinion is drawn to the direction that each refugee camp which is burning was attacked by right-wing extremists.
Well, against the backdrop of the refugee influx, which is at a record level since World War II, anti-migrant sentiment has been spiking across Europe. Meanwhile, in Norway, one of the most desired destinations for migrants arriving in Europe, police say that violence by far-right groups seems much more likely than attacks by Islamists. As a reference, police in Oslo cite the so-called Soldiers of Odin. Founded just last year in Finland, it's rapidly gained a following across Europe.
Saa hyvää palkkaa ja on tekemistä ja me joudutaan palkkaan.
Adrian Groglopo, a social science professor from Gothenburg University, thinks that far-right groups are poised to gain even more popularity too, capitalising on the migrant crisis.
This is a political power we have to analyze and be conscious about, because they are going to continue to grow. Why they become so numerous? Well, a lot of publicity. One is that. The other one is, of course, the new information technology. I mean, the social media is very important for this group. They are normalizing their presence in society. I mean, on the streets. They have done this, normalizing their presence in politics, in the political field, gaining numerous votes because the circumstances we are in, you know, the war in the Middle East and the war in Syria that triggered, of course, migration. And they are doing politics on that.
Well, with over 1 million migrants now in Europe, integration is a key issue, and the subject was raised at a meeting of Europe's education ministers in Brussels, with Russia also taking part.
Our country encountered the manifestation of terrorism a lot earlier than Europe, in the 1990s and earlier this century. So we started to work in this area earlier, and our experience is very valued by our European colleagues, especially in the field of our education, in preventing extremism and terrorism. It's important to create a social atmosphere that would prevent this radical and extremist climate. It's clear, and the European experience is one that shows that the most fertile environment is among young people, quite often not migrants themselves, but children of migrants who went to European schools and got a European education. and then for various reasons went on this path. In Russia, we pay a lot of attention to preventative work, and this is a task that every school has.